Perhaps, an even more significant question is thinking, what do we do to reach out to this new demographic in terms of, getting them to our Muni courses, in terms of positioning the concept of membership at a club? How do we reach out to them? We reach out to them in the space in which they live. 96% of the millennial population uses Facebook. Do you know that during the period of time that I'm up on stage here, 200 hours of video will have been added to YouTube? The time of period that it took new technologies to hit 50 million users at radio took 38 years. Television, it took 13 years. The internet took 4 years. The iPhone took 3 years. Facebook is adding 20 million users per month. Twitter, and we might not even know what it is, and we might not even be using it, it is adding 300,000 people per day. Per day. Facebook is used for more searches than Google. Well, what's the impact of this? Well, think about what happens with some of your Muni courses. Think about what happens if you've got, a child who is 12 or 13, the parents are interested in getting them, into the game and into regular lessons and perhaps, getting on a tour, getting into tournaments. What's happening with the parents today who might register them in such programs or who might be researching, for information on such programs? Well, back in March, I spoke at the U.S. Navy, Air Force, Marine Child Youth Program Conference. In the room, I had 2,000 people. These are the folks who manage recreation programs, and these are the folks who manage child counseling programs on military bases all over the world. And I was talking about the reality of what I call Mom 3.0. 65% of mothers today, we're talking mothers who are 20 to 35 years old, they use 5 or more forms of technology every single day. More than 40% of American mothers have Facebook profiles. 35% have accessed a weblog in the last week. 64% now regularly watch YouTube videos during their week. 15% maintain their own blog. And this all happens in the context in which 93.6% of those mothers seek the advice of others, and 97.2% provide advice to others. I'm a young mother, and I'm thinking about putting my 12-year-old out to a variety of tournaments, and it's a big family commitment. There's a lot of logistics, there's a lot of questions. I get them onto the tournament, and they're out there, they're on the road, they're participating in various things. I'm proud of them, I'm sharing my insight. I'm not doing that over the backyard fence anymore. I'm doing that out on Facebook, where other mothers might be reading that. I'm a member at a ski club. I'm based in Toronto, and we have the weird anomaly of having the world's largest collection of private ski clubs in the world. In our ski club, we're very proud of who we are. We have a $30,000 membership rate. And, we were looking at what was happening in terms of what we were trying to do to attract new members to our clubs. And we realized the mom who has the greatest degree of influence over the possibility of a family joining this club for a significant capital investment was spending her time in all these new social networks. And so what did we do? We hired a professional filmmaker. We hired a professional filmmaker that captured their children on the hill in their formative moments. When they're first experiencing this little moment when they're defying gravity and sliding over snow. And we engaged them on Facebook. We engaged them with video. We communicated with them. We set them up with an ambassador program by which they could seek more information. We had the most absolutely stunning year last year because what we were doing was we were re-engaging them in the space in which they live. What innovators do is they continue to reorient their community and potential membership outreach programs, to the new locations in which these new potential members spend their time. If I'm going to catch their attention, I have to learn to work with them and reach them in the areas in which they live.